Shalom, Sister Kate here. I've been wanting to do this video for, 4 or 5 days, almost a week, but been so busy, just haven't sat down and done it. I wanted to talk about our interns. I wanted to talk about how that worked. For any of you who follow our channel, you know we haven't had guests like for things other than feasts here on our property for any length of time, not for probably at least a year. So it was a big deal for us. It was a big decision for us, and we spent time getting ready, planning and getting supplies and setting things up. Talked about what we wanted to do with the interns, what we wanted to teach them, and so it was, we put thought into them coming. And then in the first iteration, 3 out of 4 ended up being able to come. One lady was all signed up and paid and ready, and then the weather for the first couple of days turned to 2 degrees and 4 degrees, and she has some sort of cold weather issue. I forget, it was her throat or ear or something, but they felt it was prudent that she not expose herself, and I can respect that. So the people who did come, they were prepared. They were prepared to be here. I think they've watched enough of our videos and understood that this was going to be a rough living, off-grid, hard work. They came prepared. They came with all sorts of supplies, warm weather sleeping bags. One of them came with his own wood in case it had to be chopped in order to stay warm. That was good. If you're going to go somewhere and be someone's guest and take a course, you should be mentally prepared. Don't be one of those people. This is an example coming from Florida. It's 70 degrees there. You wear your shorts and your t-shirts and your flip-flops, and you show up somewhere here with the kind of weather and terrain we're going to be in and think that somehow you're going to wing that. That's not really being mentally prepared. Something else they were prepared to do, which really helped, was that they had their questions sorted out. They knew what sort of questions they wanted to ask us about our life, about homesteading, about livestock, and also about the faith, because they did have questions about the faith. If you ask them, they may say that Pastor and I gave them too much information, but Pastor and I also have a real mind to pass on what we know, because what we've learned, we've used our reasoning and our analysis to really get down to basic truths, and we think it's important to be able to pass them on. So they had their questions ready. They were physically ready. I think they were mentally ready to be here for the time that they were here, and to understand they were going to be doing all the things we do and helping us do the things we do. We even asked them, we had the gentleman helping with kitchen chores because there were 3 of them coming and 1 of me, and it was an unusual thing for at least one of them, but he didn't complain, and he did the things, and he learned new stuff about the kitchen and took it in perspective so that he could apply it in his own life, and that was really neat. They even when we changed the schedule, they were open to that and understood, this wasn't necessarily on the playbook. For instance, we let the lady come to the ladies' Bible study. It was her choice. I don't know that she was very used to being in a Bible study, but she kept an open mind, and when it was finished, she didn't come up to me later and say, "God, I hated doing that. I should have never done it." She already knew her own mind that she was going to go try something new, and not to just immediately criticize it, even though it was something she wasn't used to. They didn't come with any drama. They didn't come with any immediate, oh, well, I fill in the blank. I've got to call my sister-in-law 10 times a day because, she's my emotional rock or something. Just ready. It made a really big difference, their experience here, because I think they were mentally ready. And they did tell us more than once that they learned what they thought they were going to learn. They were happy with what happened here. They were well fed. And even the really cold weather did not faze them. They would go to sleep in an unheated, or in one man's case, heated shelter, get up and be ready to go do the animals, even though it was 2 degrees, because their sleeping bags were warm enough And so it was just a really pleasant experience. There was lots of discussion there. There was lots of philosophical, well, what are we going to do at this time in our life, and how's the country doing and everything. And I think that was, good. It was worthwhile that we went through the time and effort to make all this happen. So they were really pleasant. Unfortunately, excuse me. Unfortunately, the one fellow ended up catching a cold or something, and so he wasn't able to complete the full week. And that was just the circumstance. I mean, there was nothing that really could be done. He tried to nurse himself, and he still didn't feel well enough, and so he just ended up going back home. But all in all, the interns were really nice people. I enjoyed meeting them. The one couple is at a pivotal moment in their lives where they really feel like they want to get control of the direction of what's happening with them, and they're all on fire, very enthusiastic. So I wish them the best and a quick recovery for the other gentleman. And thank you for coming out. Bless you, and we may be seeing you sometime out here. All right, shalom.